content creator Kimberly Lane Roberts. I am the founder of Performance Leadership International. I am dedicated to helping women entrepreneurs design a wealthy lifestyle, both inside and out, by incorporating wealth wisdom tools, tips, and resources that empower them personally and professionally. Every episode will feature myself along with a guest. And together we will share our personal journeys to a wealthy lifestyle on my globally recognized show, Wealth and Women with Kimberly. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wealth and Women Show with Kimberly. I'm Kimberly Lane Roberts, your content creator for the show today. I actually am very excited because we have a wonderful guest today, Stacey Lapuk from Stacey Lapuk Interiors. We're going to share her story and her journey from a wealthy wisdom perspective and how you can create and manifest wealth and abundance in your life. And wealth and abundance, in my opinion, is not just financial. It's also wealth and abundance, personal and professional, in all areas of life, in your life, because wealth is joy. Before I bring her up from the green room, I'd like to give you a little bit insight into me. You can learn more about what I do through Performance Leadership International. I help women, entrepreneurs, and business owners grow their business and grow themselves two ways. One, executive coaching, one-on-one for 90 minutes. And I'm also building a peer advisory group in the Bay Area. And I'm looking for candidates that might fit that. Highly motivated individuals, driven individuals, and people that want to take their business to the next level. You can find more again at performanceleadershipintl.com. Okay. Like I said, we have a wonderful show. I'm really excited about having Stacey here because we're going to learn some really good tips about interior design and from a perspective I believe you've never heard before. We're going to talk about how to build a wealthy lifestyle from the inside out with interior designer Stacey. Okay? A little bit about Stacey. She's been featured in Decorator Houses, and I'll pull up the book here. You can get it on Amazon right here. Decorator Show Houses, and I will share the link as well, which I just did. There's a link in the notes as well. Now let's introduce her. All right, Stacey is going to get ready to come up from the green room. Here she goes. All righty. Stacey is owner and founder of Stacey Lapuk Interiors, where she creates award-winning interior designs for luxury residential clientele. She's been doing this for over 35 years, and as you can see, she's been well-renowned and featured in several different magazines and showcases. She basically, as I know, you're going to France, I believe, in the next week or two. She's really unique in that she takes a lot of her experience, the art, objects, anything she can find on her travels and incorporates into the aspects of her biophilic design and how she creates a world for you. So I'd like to welcome up Stacey Lapuk again, Stacey Lapuk Interior Designs. And Stacey, are you there? There she is. Hi there.
Hi. Hey, Kimberly.
I'm so happy to have you on this show. I have been looking forward to this discussion just to learn more about biophilic. I think that's a new word for a lot of people. Maybe I'm just ignorant, but I just think it's got a lot of insight, and especially in the world today, as how we are really trying to create a high vibration and good energy around us, no matter where we go, right? So, as we do at every single show, we begin with a tip, okay, or actually, I should say a journey. And we're going to share Stacey's journey. And biophilic design really creates a natural alignment with nature to coalesce our scattered energy into a calming sanctuary. Our home becomes a calming sanctuary. So, how did you get started into biophilic design, and what does biophilic design really mean for our audience? If you could share that.
I know it sounds like a disease, doesn't it? It actually, it actually means love of nature, bio and philia, right? Biophilic, love of nature. And I love the outdoors, and I always like to incorporate a lot of natural elements into my design anyway. And I was sick one time many, many years ago, probably 15 years ago, and I was taking CEU courses to keep up on my ASID credentials. And there was a course on biophilic design, and I had never heard of it. I had heard of biomimicry, which is more from an architectural perspective on mimicking the environment in the built form. And but biophilia was more from the inside out. And what they've done is they've determined there are 15 specific patterns that are found in nature. And when those are incorporated into the built environment, into your home, they've been measurably proven to do things like lower cortisol levels and increase the flow of serotonin and regulate heart rates and lower blood pressure and this myriad of amazing benefits. And it really works. You know, we say we design happiness, and we really do.
You really, really do. And I thought it would be
Yeah.
helpful for our viewers to kind of see some of the work you've done.
Hmm.
And if you can kind of, and I've got several different pictures, so bear with me as I pull them up. But could you kind of explain what you see, what components of this image or of this bedroom in particular incorporate that biophilic design?
Sure. So one thing you'll notice in nature is that there's a repetitiveness, right? It's like fractal geometry. There's no Euclidean geometry in nature. There's no such thing as a straight line outside, right? But there are fractals. It's kind of like if you take a mirror and you break a mirror, then there are little pieces of the whole in each little piece.
Hmm.
So what that tells us is that we like repetition. Our biology likes repetition. So you can see in this room, there are ridges in the candlesticks and in the table lamp, and even in the light fixture I designed has ridges to create the that shape. The bolsters are placed in a way that creates ridges. So you
Hmm.
don't walk in here and think, oh my gosh, there are these ridges everywhere. You just know it unconsciously or subconsciously, and it makes you feel good. Other elements are natural materials. There's natural cottons, there's wood. The sculpture above the bed are purple plum branches
Oh,
that
wow.
are created into this sculpture that are wonderful. There's stone and there's a water element. You can see half of a Buddha stone on the right side, half of a Buddha face, and on the other side of that window seat is the other half of the Buddha face.
Oh,
So you've
wow.
got stone, and it's actually a water fountain. So there's water that comes over that, so you hear water, which is another pattern, right? Um, let's see.
Yeah,
I
I'll
don't
pull
know
up
if you
some
want to
other ones
move
so we
in
can
or
do some
I
compare.
can
Yeah,
keep
so
going on.
comparison. Yeah, I'm sorry I can't get these images better. I'll learn how to navigate the
No
system
worries.
a little bit better. But I hopefully they can maybe even zoom in on on their phone or
Hmm.
here we go.
Or
Here's
they
one
could go
another
to my
one.
website and you could see it there too.
Exactly.
So this house is in Sea Ranch. And what's cool about this, the client had this amazing collection of antique Pomo Indian baskets. They were museum quality. She would loan them to the DeYoung, which was very cool. So that was so that obviously is a natural material. It was done by hand. So you get all that energy from the actual production of what's there. The wood, the back headboard of the wood, it's kind of hard to tell from here, but it's actually undulates and
Hmm.
it kind of looks like driftwood. So that's what that bed is. And because it's at Sea Ranch on the shore, that made perfectly good sense. The walls are a Venetian plaster,
Oh, how
which
gorgeous.
gives you a lot of depth. It's smooth. If you were to touch it, it feels super, super smooth. But the light just plays with the color a lot, which is really pretty. And using antiques, the tansu as nightstands are antiques. So that's bringing in another sort of like an authenticity and the material that's there and what that piece has gone through to get to the place that it is now. All that energy comes back to you and
Hmm.
literally connects to your biology so that you feel better.
Can you explain to our viewers why? And I don't. I'm going to mess up the statistics. As you said, we've spent X amount of years in the wilderness, if you will, and
Yeah.
only so many years now in an industrial community. Can you share that? Because that's why this biophilic is so important.
Yeah, yeah. So we've been around in this human form as human beings for about 200,000 years. Okay, I'm trying to like say it for a lot, big long time. We've only been in the built environment for 20,000 of those years. So our DNA expects us to be outdoors, expects us to be in the natural environment. And that's where we, all of our, um, let's see, what's a good way to put this? Everything that we experience can now be measured, right? So what they've been able to do is measure your hormones and measure your responses to all sorts of different stimuli, and they've determined that by being exposed to natural stimulus and shapes and patterns and systems, it's been very beneficial, because that's where we are our best, is in nature. So
Yes, and then I really think after you started explaining this picture, I thought this was fascinating. This is a kitchen, and what is this made out of? I just was so impressed with the material that you incorporated
it's all
in it.
very cool. This was that's excuse me for interrupting.
Yeah.
This was the same. It's the same house at Sea Ranch, and we brought this down to its studs. We rebuilt it with the Doug fir, which is endemic in Sea Ranch houses. So that's the ceiling is Doug fir. The flooring is white tiger wood, all
Oh, it's
certified.
beautiful.
The wall finish, I don't know if you could see, there's a little antique Chinese wood basket on the counter in the back in this beautiful red finish. The client wanted that finish on her cabinetry. So the
Mm,
artist I used to help me figured out or did research and determined how that was created initially, and did that system and that process on all her cabinets. So it's this beautiful, it looks like almost like a matte lacquer with some black coming through. It's just gorgeous. The counters are all limestone, and the backsplash are concrete tiles. So they're all natural materials. The walls are a limed finish, which is kind of like plaster, but it's made with lime. Like if you take limestone and you crush it up, you get lime, and then you add resins and pigments, and you get a lime finish. And we did things like, you could tell that the back end of the kitchen was an addition. So by
oh,
putting the light fixtures, the ceiling fixtures the way we did, it evened out that space. And then we mimicked the shape of the window with the hood. The
I see that. Yeah.
Right, so that hood was custom made by this artist Futong Chang to match the angle of the window. And yeah.
And so why is that important? Why is it important to kind of repeat the pattern, repeat that kind of slant? What does that come from a biophilic perspective?
It makes us feel good. It's, again, mimicking shapes and creating an ease, so your eye doesn't get all juggled around. It's just very calm. It takes you out, and then that draws you to the outdoors, to the view that you see out, which is very important.
Very cool. Very cool. What's your favorite part about doing biophilic design?
Making people happy.
S-
It's just I don't know. It puts a language to the work that I do, which is nice.
Yeah, and I think you really do design happiness. What have been some of the comments from your customers, or that have probably become friends, knowing you?
Mm.
What have they expressed in the feeling that you've created for them, or what how has their health changed dramatically, or are they happier, are the kids happier, the dogs happier? Can you give any stories around they just all of a sudden feel more lighthearted and they don't really know why, right?
Well, one story I have is a project actually in Nevada, and the clients were away on a long trip. I think they were in the Galapagos or something, and we did the installation, and which we put all the furniture in. We all the construction was done, and the client, the woman, she called me and she said, "I just opened the front door. I haven't even stepped in, and I'm walking into my dream." It's like, okay,
Aw.
that's,
Aw,
I
that's
know, you
awesome.
can't beat that.
No, you
Yeah,
cannot. No, no,
yeah.
no. Wow, that's when your clients are happy and you delivered a solution, whatever that might be,
Mhm.
it's a very rewarding feeling, definitely. So I'm
Yeah,
sure you
it's
do that for all your clients.
not only can you create something that's beautiful and that has design excellence and all the elements of what good design is, But if you infuse that all with biophilic principles, then you're addressing somebody's health as well. And it's yeah.
Cool, cool. We do have a little tip share. I shouldn't say it's little, it's actually very generous, and I think it's got some great ideas.
Hmm.
Um, Stacey's going to share her Wealth and Women tip. Your happiness is reflected by the space you create. So design your happy space. Get your 5-step guide. So I'm going to put up here. That's a QR code. I'll hold it there for a second. That'll take you to her website where you can download that. Is it a PDF?
It's a PDF. It's an introductory guide to biophilic design, and it gives some ideas on what you can do to start implementing some of these yourself.
Wonderful. How easy is it to incorporate biophilic design?
It's easy. I mean, it's just a matter of intention. If you have a choice between, a polyester or an organic linen, get the organic linen. It's going to feel better. It's going to last longer. If if you love wood, bring in wood. Look to stone. They're different. They're 15 different patterns, and they're divided into 3 categories. And implementing anything from any of those categories will help. One of the categories, for example, is oh dear, now I've got a brain freeze.
I
But
can't
it's
help you with that.
mimicking it's mimicking what is in nature. So if you have a rug that has a pattern of leaves on it, for example, or a floral fabric, or maybe you have a china design with something organic on it. All those little places where you can incorporate nature makes a difference. Making sure your view is clear and you can see out, you have a good prospect. Um, Having a place of refuge is biophilic, right? Imagine you way back when we would live in a cave up on a hill so we could look out and we had a broad expanse view, so that made us safe. We could see what was coming, but in that view there was always water, so we like water. There's usually like a grove of trees or someplace where you could get shelter and get refuge and from the sun and from whatever, feel safe. And then the cave that you're looking out from probably has a ledge overhead to feel so you could be protected. Um, all those little elements are what you can incorporate in today's world and into your own home.
That it's kind of funny. You led right into my little journey share. I was kind of thinking before we started the show what I was going to share, and I do believe our home is our sanctuary. And I'm a Taurus, and
Hmm.
so I really like on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I like to be surrounded by beautiful things and luxury, and but my home is my sancted place, right? And
Yeah.
I get frustrated when I see people not honor it, and honoring it meaning whereby set up an office so that you can be productive in an office. Don't work from the bedroom, don't work from the
Right.
garage, don't work from the kitchen table. Like honor your space. I need, you want your office space to be productive, special lighting, plus some biophilics in there. You really don't want to be eating in bed, the bedroom's to sleep. So just where people mix all that up, I think your body gets so confused on what to do and how to operate. What are your thoughts around that with the biophilic piece too?
I think you're right on target. You want to feel in control of your space, so you want to be in a place where it's not too messy. Is excuse me,
Bless
excuse
you.
me. You don't want it filled up with stuff. You want it just calm, so you can find things and you can see what it is that you want. You It's almost like the space between musical notes. You know how there's
Mhm.
that empty space, and it's like a space of mystery. So you want to make sure to incorporate that somehow into your home and into the way you function, so that you can rest. Your eyes can rest. You're not bombarded with things, which is why it's so important to be able to look out if you can, and give your eyes a rest, give your face time to adjust to what it is that you want to work on.
No, you've given me solid proof to say, clean your room, get rid of the
Yep.
clutter, keep some space. It's healthier for you. I remember I
Yeah.
met this one person and you walked into their dining room and they had, I mean, stacks of newspapers, the Wall Street Journal, the Plain Dealer, whatever it was, they had like 12
Yeah.
stacks. And I'm thinking to myself, one, you can't even use the dining room. Two, you can't even walk through it. Three, they're never going to use it, right? Or read those or
Mhm.
read those newspapers. So it's kind of like that has to affect your emotional well-being. It has to affect your health, right?
It does. Remember when we got newspapers every day, right? We got the morning news and the afternoon news, and they would start piling up in the corner. And you just got used to it. You didn't really pay much attention to it. But then when garbage day came and it all went out and you saw that space, it was like, you just like breathed. It just felt totally different, right?
And I think we as human beings feel that we need to always fill that space, whether there's silence or whether there's space in the
Hmm.
house. And you're really reiterating that abundance and wealth is having more space in your house. And I think you do that with your art and your design. You're very intentional about the objects you put there, the materials you use, the layout of the room, the color schemes. I mean, you're very intentional to create that space, that pause, that peace, that nurturing environment. So um, one more tip share that I will share, and you know a little bit about this, Stacey. Just as important as how you surround yourself with your interior, your home is your sancted place. I really believe too, you are the average of the top 5 people you spend the most time with.
Hmm.
Studies show that. So if you want to be highly successful, if you want to be positive thinker, if you want to stop smoking, it doesn't help if you're around people that are doing what you don't want to be doing, right? Or if you want to be a highly successful person in this case, or take your business to the next level, I'm creating a peer group here in the Bay Area for women entrepreneurs and business owners who really, really want to surround themselves with like women. There will be men in the group as well. I'm not excluding men, but for this person and this our audience, I'm directing this towards women. But I wanted to share that today, just because I'm building it actively, as you know, and I'm looking
Yeah.
for some great women. So, anything else you'd like to share with our viewers?
Yeah, just to that point that you rise to the people that are around you. You also rise to the quality of things that you have around you, right? If you're around a beautiful antique or a gorgeous painting or sculpture, something like that, that you just feel better, right? Because that resonance is higher, so you're going to raise to that resonance. And oh, I just lost. Oh, there we go. Um, Yeah, and if you're around something that's just junky, right? It just sort of brings you down. It just you don't feel as good. So being around, even if you can only, invest in one thing at a time, just a little bit, but think about the quality of the pieces that you're surrounding yourself with, because it all has energy and it's all going to be affecting how you feel, just as how it is important to be surrounded by people that will help you be your best.
No, I love it. Another excuse I could go shopping and replace the family room, which needs to be some updated linens and pillows and chandeliers. So now you've given my wonderful excuse to do that. Thank you for that, ladies. You can use it as well. So, well,
Anytime.
well, Stacey, thank you for being on the show, Women in Wealth with Kimberly. Anything else you'd like to add before I put you back in the green room and I'll connect with you in a little bit?
No, just if anybody wants to reach out or has a question, feel free to do so. I'm an open book, and I do offer complimentary consults. So just there's no reason not to say hello.
Yep. You can find her at StaceyLapukinteriors.com. All right. Well, bye for now, and I will catch you in a little bit.
Thank you, Kimberly.
All right. Everybody, thank you so much for watching us today and joining in and subscribing to our YouTube channel, the Superstar Women Entrepreneur Network. You'll find that in the show notes as well. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for sharing this video. Thank you for supporting Stacey by going to her website. If you want to bring more wealth and abundance in all areas of your life, let's have a 30-minute conversation on how to manifest your dreams into your reality. And you can find that at this link below in the notes, or simply go to performanceleadershipinternational.com. You'll find that there. So, as always, remember that this show is on every Tuesday and airs live at 9 a.m. Pacific time and noon Eastern time. And with that being said, I'm going to jump out for right now and say goodbye, but wish you all a wonderful week until we see you next Tuesday again, 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon Eastern
11
time.
a.m. Central Time on my globally recognized show, Wealth and Women with Kimberly.